Welcome back to Shark Movie Mafia, where I watch bad shark films so you don't have to. As you've probably guessed by the title today, this is not a deep dive. This is not the normal content that I would put out, but this was something that had been like brimming around my brain space for a little while, and so it needed to come out. I look like baby Beetlejuice from Sharks of the Corn. Oh no. So rather than make you just stare at my ugly mug for the entire rant, I'm going to put this on the screen, which hopefully is at least a bit more entertaining. With shark films, I feel like there's three main categories. I feel like you've got the scary shark films, you know, the Shallows, Open Water, the Reef. These things are built to set off thalassophobia in a person. They're built to make you scared of the water, and they do that job very well. There's not much you can make fun of. You either like them or you don't like them. The next segment it kind of veers into is the action-y shark films, you know, the Jaws, the Meg. These are usually male protagonists. They're usually guns versus shark as opposed to like a solo surfer or swimmer versus shark. Then on the other end you have my absolute jam, which is silly shark films. These are, you know, the Sharktopus, the mecha sharks, the bad CGI sharks. In this category are some bad movies, but they're good. They're entertaining and they have a whole hell of a lot of heart and soul poured into them. The problem I have with Shark Exorcist, other than the fact that I just did not like it at all, is that it should never have been made, and it signals a real problem that is growing in the entertainment industry surrounding this level of basically being famous for being shit. I was talking to someone on Twitter about this. I didn't realize how many people felt like this about this movie, and now knowing that that many people do, I got to rant about this. I've got to make a video. Shark Exorcist, for those who haven't seen it, the basic premise of it, there's this evil nun and she's like a Satanist or something. So she kills people and feeds them into this shark-infested lake, and then these people who are like possessed by a shark kind of go around and do terrible things. But as silly as that is, it's not even laughable to watch. It's cringy and in parts creepy, and it just never should have been made. Just to preface this rant, I am a film fan. I'm not just a fan of watching films, I'm a fan of the process of making films. Although I don't do it right now, I spent my entire 20s desperately trying to find a way to make a movie. I've sold a script to a small studio before. I attempted to make a short movie in 2001, I think it was. That never came to fruition because making a film is hard, but that love of like the behind the scenes element just never went away. I will happily sit there and watch a 3-hour documentary of the making of a movie instead of the movie. If it's a film I've seen like 100 times, I won't just watch it blindly. I'll listen to the Foley they added on. I'll look at the lighting, the camera angles, the little kind of Easter eggs they put in the background. All of this is interesting to me. But the problem with Shark Exorcist is it feels like none of that even happened. Like they just made a movie as quickly and as cheaply as they could. But when you look behind the scenes of it, it's not a cheap movie. And this is where Majama come in. So the Twitter discussion that sparked this rant started with these guys. We were chatting about how shit this movie is, and when people ask them, did you intend to make a deliberately bad movie, it kind of stings because no, they didn't. And my response to that, which I'll repeat here, is it's not even a so bad it's good film, it's just a good film. Bad CGI Sharks is fantastic, and the fact that it only cost $6,000 or so to make makes it all that much better, because Shark Exorcist had a budget of $300,000. $300,000! Whose asshole was that snorted out of? Because it wasn't spent on the film. Some films are bad, no matter what the budget, right? You can have a film that has millions of dollars spent on it and it's just fucking terrible, and it's fine. You can't love everything. It's okay. That's not what this rant is about. This rant is about the fact that this film had $300,000 and it ended up looking like a film that somebody went out and shot on their fucking iPhone. And not only that, the acting is like low-grade porno acting. There's this whole scene in the playground where there's this grown woman playing with a shark toy, and then this woman who literally looks like she just walked out of a Pornhub set kind of starts molesting her toy shark, talking about how she likes it wet. Okay, just roll clip. What is that? She sounds like a pig being fed into a wood chipper. I don't understand. Okay, look, I was an extra in a film back in those days when I was sort of chasing my filmmaking acting thing. Back in 2009, I was an extra in a movie. It was a cheap as shit film. It was really low budget. All the extras were all the friends of the director. We went to London. We went to go film this like scene where I was a zombie. Even that movie has terrible acting, right? That film that I was in, I'm not going to name it because I don't want it to be any kind of witch hunt against that film, but it's good because they tried, you know, all the effort in the world went into them, and those flaws in like all the acting's cheesy or oh the CGI's a bit it's okay, but this film has none of that. There's absolutely no joy put into this movie whatsoever. And then I found out during this Twitter discussion that it's getting a sequel. There are so many films out there that I watch and I think, man, I wish beyond anything else that it would get a sequel and that we could see that world again. And this is the film that gets the sequel. I think what gets me, Lloyd Kaufman, he is a great director. He does schlocky B movies, lots of like weird films, and if you're under the age of about, I'd say 35, you may not fully remember him. One film that comes to mind of his that is one of my favorites is Nukem High, which is just an absolute bonkers movie. It's so good. It's wonderful because of how bad it is, but in the best possible way. I really hope that if he takes this film, he can actually do something like that, give that energy to Shark Exorcist 2. I've rambled a bit and I apologize about that, but my whole point of this is simply that I really hope that this trend doesn't continue. This is not just a Hollywood thing, it's not just a shark film thing. There is an uptick in recent years of bad content overall being the content that gets the attention, the content that gets funded, the content that gets the rewards, and I don't understand it. Nowadays, it just seems like the less effort you put in, the more you shit out content, the more you become just that mill of stuff that people demand from you, the more people like it, and I don't get it. Why are we praising this? Why do we continue to praise this? It's getting worse and worse and worse. It's become cool to be shit. When I was a kid, it was not cool to be a nerd. We got made fun of when we sat alone in the lunchroom. But nowadays it's cool to be like that, and that's great. It's normalized, and that's wonderful. But we've gone too far. We're now normalizing bad content. We're normalizing not being good at what you do. We're not celebrating the good stuff anymore. We're celebrating like mediocrity. You don't have to love everything with every fiber of your body. You don't have to put every penny you have or every minute you have into a thing for it to be satisfactory. And sometimes that's enough. But when you go out of your way to make something bad, it has a knock-on effect for people who make the efforts. It doesn't make them look better. It rubs off on them. Like I was saying before about how when people say to these guys, did you purposely make a bad movie? It's because they watch shit like this and they think, oh, they were trying to do what they did. No. And I just wish that the same dedication could be put in for people that have the money at $300,000. $300,000. $300,000. That was not my normal video, and that probably didn't make a lot of sense to people who haven't seen Shark Exorcist. I may or may not do a rundown on this film. I haven't decided yet. And for those thinking I'm picking on Shark Exorcist, I'm not. I recently did a deep dive on a film called Sharks of the Corn. All in good fun. I made fun of that film all the way through. Oof, it's borderline deliberately bad. There is another film by the same sort of group of people called House Shark, and I'm not even gonna watch that shit. It's a problem, and it's not just films. It's just far too much of this shit going on lately, and I just think this is a problem. It's a real problem. It's lazy. Stop it. That wasn't my normal video, but all the same, I hope that it was at least marginally entertaining and that you enjoyed this. Oh, God, man, this shirt is horrible. I love it. This shirt makes me look insane. I don't know where this video was going. It's an absolute mess. And if you agree or disagree, leave a comment and let me know what you thought. And I'll see you next week for another sane deep dive where I'm not wearing this shirt. Bye!